how to leave a real estate legacy to your family. That's what we're going to go over today. Now, leaving an inheritance of a real estate portfolio to your family is not an end. It is, in fact, a beginning of managing, growing, and protecting your family's legacy. Imagine leaving a commercial property to your family that looks like this, and then over the years having it grow to become this. Is it possible? Absolutely. Of course it is. This is what we teach our students here at Commercial Property Advisors to do. Now, practically speaking, to achieve such a feat, you're going to have to know how to do three things that we're going to go over in this video. Number one is knowing what the most profitable property type to leave to your heirs, to your family. Number two, you have to know how to choose the best legacy entity to use to store or house all of your assets, like a trust, like a tenants in common, things like that. I will go over that with you. And number three, really important, educating your heirs, your successor, your family on the one thing they should never ever do. All right. If you have any questions for me during this video, please feel free to text me directly to 833-942-4516. Any questions you like. All right. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's get started. All right. Before we get started, I want to share two really important things with you. Number one is what's at stake here. And number two, the importance of legacy planning. There's so much at stake, and you have to plan really, really, really smartly. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so if you bought a $1 million commercial property 30 years ago, okay, 30 years ago, this is about legacy planning in Los Angeles, California, okay, that $1 million property 30 years later, on average, we were worth $11 million. Okay, now I'm taking into consideration an 8.4% average appreciation rate. Okay, so that means average because over these 30 years, LA had some negative years, it had some great years, some negative years. Over 30 years, this 8.4% is the average, and it comes out to be $11 million today. Okay, I know this to be true, and some properties are worth a lot more than $11 million 30 years later. I'm just going over the average. Okay, now, if you bought the same property 30 years ago in a growing, favorable market like Charlotte, North Carolina, that same $1 million commercial property is worth $16 million. This is what I want to emphasize, what's at stake and the importance of legacy planning. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is only just one commercial property. Imagine having a portfolio to pass to your heirs and your successors in your family. How much more responsible do you need to be? Okay, and lastly, it illustrates the power of commercial real estate investing. Got it? All right, let's move on. Next is, how do you leave your commercial properties to your heirs, to your family? What legal structure or entities should you set up? I'm going to share that with you right now. I'll give you the four most popular types. Of course, when planning yours, please consult an attorney because family dynamics come into play and tax implications come into play and a whole bunch of other things that may concern the property come into play. Okay, I'm just going to go over the top four, okay, and stress why you need to have one of these entities set up. Number one is before you pass, you need to have a living trust. This is the first choice you can make. A living trust allows you to transfer ownership of the property, avoid probate. Okay, what probate is if you don't have a living trust, if the property is in your name and you have a will, but that's all you have, guess what? Here in California, it's going to go to probate. It's very expensive. It's going to take years for your family to get any type of money. The attorneys will take it all. The state gets their share. And to me, poof, the legacy is almost gone, right? Because you didn't have a living trust, okay? So there are significant tax savings and benefits in having a living trust when you want to leave a legacy to your family. And also there's asset protection against lawsuits and creditors, okay? So living trust can be two ways. You can have a revocable living trust or an irrevocable living trust. An irrevocable one is that can't be changed. Okay, so again, consult your attorney. The second way, as pretty common, is tenancy in common. Okay, so it allows unequal ownership. So if you want to have one family member have this and have this, have a different level, it's very, we call these TICs, they're very flexible. Okay, and then the shares of ownership that your child gets upon your passing, they can easily pass it on to their heirs through a will or something like that. Okay, so very flexible here. Next is joint tenancy with the right of survivorship. Okay, basically, I'll explain. This is ownership passes automatically to the heirs. And again, this avoids probate. But the great part about this is if you have 4 family members and that you're passing it down to, and the one of them passed away, the other 3 gets your share until there's 1 left. Okay, so as each one person passed away, they get more of what you left. Okay, and lastly, this is pretty cool. This is called a charitable remainder trust. Okay, this allows you to donate a portion of your holdings of your real estate portfolio to your favorite charity. Okay, while retaining a lifetime stream of income. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Let's say you don't have kids and you have a charity you want to support or a favorite cause. This is what you would use to pass it down and avoid the complications of doing it outside, within a will or not having anything set up. Okay, so make sure you have something like this set up, or it could be devastating to your family, okay, and when leaving a legacy. All right, so do this. All right, okay, let's move on. Here we are. Let's discuss what is the best property type to leave to your family. All right, I'm going to start off with what you should not leave to your family. Okay, by the way, I've been an executor of several trusts, 3 of them in fact, of families where I get the privilege and the honor of doling out the assets and reading everything out per my attorney. And I can speak to what I'm about to share here. Okay, all right. So my least favorite to leave to a family as a legacy is a single family home. And I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying, no, 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 Peter, but hear me out. Okay. Number one, to me, it's not a legacy. Okay. It won't last. Here's why. As soon as they experience, and I have this experience with the 3 families, as soon as they experience negative cash flow or a substantial expense like a repair, like replacing a roof or vacancy or taxes, they will argue and sell it. Okay. Do I sound like I have experience with this? I do. Okay. And when they sell it and split up among their family members, the legacy is gone. It's poof, it's gone. After all that work with one single event. Now you're going to ask me, but Peter, what if the home is paid for? What if he kept it for 30 years, is worth a lot, and there's no mortgage? Great, great, right? Now, that home still has insurance, taxes, repairs, and you better get a renter in there, because if you're not getting a renter in there, you're going to have to pay amongst the family the insurance, the taxes, repairs, things like that. And guess what? The family, family is special. They will argue, and guess what? They will sell it, and the legacy, poof, gone. Okay, seen it. All right. Okay. Now, in my opinion, the best to leave to your family as to provide a legacy is multifamily, some form of a storage facility, like a warehouse. It can be industrial, it can be self-storage, a mobile home park, an office building that's full of tenants, even a retail space like a shopping center. These are the best to leave as a legacy. Okay, a cash flowing asset preserves and protects the golden goose, which is the legacy. Okay, what your parents or what you're trying to leave to the family is something with good property management. Okay, that's in place, along with an asset management plan. Okay, we teach our students how to manage the management. This is really important. No one teaches that because it doesn't sell. Okay, but this is a key part of being successful in commercial real estate, is to have an asset management plan so things go smoothly. You continue to cash flow, taxes are paid, all the bills are paid, and the family gets money month after month. Okay, this leads to stability. Okay, not only financial stability, but also legacy stability. Okay, when you have this in place. Okay, now if it's set up well and properly, okay, this is what we teach our students again, it's not a burden to the family as what a single family home would end up being. Okay, so commercial is the way to go. So if it's set up well, it will not be a burden to the family. You don't, after all this work, you do not want to be a burden to the family. You want to be a long-term blessing to the family. Got it? All right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Here is the third final part of today's training, and that is what I want you to educate your heirs, your successors, and your family on. Okay, education is really important. And that one thing for them to never do once you pass away is to sell the property. Okay, do not sell the property upon your death, because all the work that you've done is gone. You're going to have to pay taxes. You may have to consider doing something else like a 1031 exchange to buy a larger property. All these things come into play, but everything that you work for over these last 10, 20, 30 years, poof, gone. So teach them, please teach them, educate them not to sell upon your death. All right? Okay, now, why would they sell? What in the world could happen? Many things can happen. Okay, I have this personal experience being an executor for 3 families. Number one, what can go wrong? Management disagreement. All right, so the people in charge of the property, of the estate are in disagreement. Come on, family is special, right? Number two is a financial burden. What if the property needs a new roof, and a new roof is $200,000? What if the city has given it some violations, it's cost $10,000 to fix up? All these things can create burdens on the property that may cause the family members to just want to sell. Okay. Next is lack of expertise. Let's face it, your family members aren't educated in real estate and how it works, how it runs. So they have their own beliefs how real estate should work. So this lack of expertise turns into management disagreement. Okay, and causes them to sell. Okay, next is, I don't have to talk about this, this is family dynamics. Again, family can be special. Okay, now, how do you mitigate all this? So what can go wrong? Well, let me share with you what you should do right. All right, what you should do when you want to do it the right way to honor the person who is leaving the legacy for you. Okay, number one is to set up a detailed estate plan. Okay, for example, I'll be straightforward. When does the money come out? Right, the monthly money to distribution, money to the heirs. How does all that work with accounting and everything? Next part of the detailed estate plan is the property management. Who's going to manage the property manager? Okay. Next, the decision-making process. Okay, so you need to make a decision on the property. How is it made? Is it by majority? Is it that you leave one person in charge? Okay, this detailed estate plan will nail out all that. Next is to have trust. If you're going to use trust to hold your portfolio, basically it's the what, when, how, why to do with the property. Okay, that's what's in the trust. Okay, number three is to have professional advisors, right? When I was in charge of being an executor, they chose me because I was the real estate expert that can help the family the most. Okay, so have real estate experts, have an attorney, have a CPA, and have a property manager there that can help you manage this legacy, okay, these properties here. And lastly, I think you ought to consider this, okay? I think you ought to consider having a buy-sell agreement, okay? What that is, this buy-sell agreement, it outlines how to buy out a family member if they just want to be bought out and you want to keep the property. So it's not necessary, but I think it's a good idea to have this agreement just in case you have a family member who wants no part of it. They just want their money, they don't like you, they hate you, or they just want to move on, okay? And then, so this buy-sell agreement will outline how to buy them out, okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and how to leave a real estate legacy to your family. I hope this inspired you and get you ready, get you prepared for what's to come. It can be a blessing or it can be a curse. Have it be a blessing by following what I just shared. Okay? All right. Everyone, if you want to learn more about what we teach our students, consider becoming a mentee of ours. The link will appear. If you just want to read a book, go ahead. The book link will appear. Please go ahead and like this video as well. And let me just leave you with this, okay? We are a real estate company, and I can just tell you that the best time to buy a commercial property was 5 years ago, okay? The best time. The next best time is today. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed having us here. I enjoyed you. I'll see you at the next video.